Bank of Baroda stock rallies after posting a record 3340 crore loss. The street takes heart from the PSU Bank's attempt to downgrade all stressed assets upfront. The financial technology stock cracks after the government orders the merger of NSCL with the company. Finance Minister Jaitley hints at major banking sector reforms in the budget, adds that the government is gradually moving in the direction of reforms and a market-oriented economy. Alright, let's take a look at the market action in today's session, and it's been quite a strong short covering bout, thanks to which we are above the 7150 mark. If you talk about the Nifty, we have attained a high of close to that level, and now we are pretty much consolidating there. 7153 is where we are, 2.5% higher. Expect some bit of resistance at obviously 72 and 7250 levels going ahead, although having said that, we'll come to which later. We've seen some shedding in terms of open interest from the 7200 call, which is a good sign going ahead. If you talk about the bigger market movers, of course, Bank of Baroda is an outlier in that regard, up 23% at this point, and obviously on back of a more forthcoming management that has come out and said that they have provided for all the stressed assets in this quarter as far as their AQR goes, 100% of the AQR thereof, 24% gains on back of that. I mean, typically against the rub of the green. Vedanta, Tata Steel, Hindalco are the other top movers in this space, and you cannot discount some short covering. All these metals, secondary metals as well as steel producers, have been severely shorted over the past several sessions, and this kind of a bounce back you were anticipating sooner rather than later. On the downside, there are counters like Bharti Airtel as well as Idea, two of the solitary laggards as far as the Nifty is concerned. But if you pull up the Bank Nifty, that's also a major mover in today's session, not only sectorally but also stock-wise. We've already looked at Bank of Baroda, but let's pull up the Bank Nifty for you. It's up almost a good 300 points, 300 to 350 odd points from the day's low point, and you're looking at a 500 point up move on the Bank Nifty. Obviously, PSBs like Bank of Baroda, Bank of India as well as State Bank of India leading gains on that index. Alright, I understand we have Dilip Sanghvi, founder and MD of Sun Pharma. He's talking from the sidelines of the Make in India conference. Let's listen into what he has to say. Alright, there seems to be an issue with the connection there. We'll get back to that sound bite as and when we have it. The Sun Pharma stock is up for you, 1.7% higher, and we have been having this commentary from leaders of industry from the sidelines of the Make in India summit that is going on at Mumbai right now. But let's get our focus back on the Bank Nifty. It's 14,470, 500 point up move now, and even if you talk about the option space, there is some bit of positivity coming in, since you are seeing a significant shedding on the 7,000 call level, a level where you were seeing some bit of buying and some bit of writing before Friday's session, and 7,200 call also incidentally has shed 3 lakh shares. Shedding on the higher level calls of open interest is importantly what we should look at on back of such a move for greater levers to a rally like this. On the downside, you've got some buoyancy which has shifted higher, 7,000 put as well as 7,100 put, and more importantly that, almost 2 million shares added by only 1230, which indicates that some writing is coming in at a higher level as opposed to a 68 or 6900 where we were seeing action a couple of days back. The Wix, pull up the Wix for you, that's important. That's down 9% in today's session. That's also significant. IVs and Wix are an important indicator of the trend going ahead as well, bringing it down to 22 levels, and the PCR has also risen a little incrementally from 0.78 to 0.81. So those FII ratios will be important in today's data set as well post closing. I understand we have Sahaj Agarwal, Deputy Vice President of Derivatives Research at Kotak Securities. Sahaj, good afternoon, good to have you on the show today. What is your view on this short covering move that we are seeing? Do you see some sustainable up move from here on, or what are the level? What is the level that you are tracking beyond which we should hold for this rally to sustain?
Hi Pranay. So Nifty actually in Friday's panic tested the very critical support of the 6850, and in our opinion this is now become a kind of a bottom for the next 2 to 3 months. So in our opinion, the market has actually made a very, very strong bottom for the medium term, and now we are headed for an extremely strong bounce back. 7100 is a level that we're looking at, and today we are trading above the same. A closure above 7100 would indicate that the market has actually formed a bottom at 6850, and in the coming weeks, possibly we could be headed for 74 and 7500 as well. So what we're suggesting is that although today's rally is a bit overdone, but the sentiment has turned positive, I would actually suggest buying on dips and holding on to long positions in frontline stocks as well as high beta stocks. And we are very, very clear that Nifty now should be headed for 74 and 7500 back again in the next few weeks.
All right, two things on back of that, Sahaj. One is that your FII ratios became more adverse after Friday. There was 1 lakh shares added to put longs, and there was almost 80,000 shares added to call shorts. So there was a trend of aggressive call writing and aggressive put buying that continued in Friday's session as well by FIIs. So A, are you looking for that to change materially after today's session, after this convincing up move? Because we ended at parity in Friday's session, so there was no great shakes there. And secondly, what are you recommending to your clients? As you said, a buy on a dips strategy is what you are saying. So thereof, when do you expect a short squeeze to come in? I mean, what will really frighten the bears from this point? We have had almost a 150 point up move, 170 now, and a 200, 250 point up move may lead to a short squeeze beyond 72.50 levels. Do you think that?
I think, as you mentioned, that on Friday you had a lot of adverse activity. Today's up move is totally negating that negative position build-up which actually happened, and the squeeze is actually happening right now as you speak. You know, usually we tend to analyze it once it's happened, but I believe that squeeze is already happening right now, and hence you've seen an up move, such a massive up move on Nifty of around 180 points. So I think very, very clear, a very, very strong technical support of 6850, and you are in an up move. Not to say that this up move is going to be vertical in nature. Obviously, you will have small bits of corrections coming in, but those corrections should be categorically used to initiate long positions for higher targets of around 7400.
All right, Sahaj, you've seen on the 7200 call, I mean, we are nearest to that right now, almost 45 to 50 points away. So it's in shouting distance of the kind of move that we have seen also today. There's shedding of almost 3.5 lakh shares even before we have attained a near point in that level. Do you think 7200 is attainable in today's session, given already the kind of bump up that we have seen, say by the second half?
So I would not be that aggressive as well. So maybe today, I think we should be consolidating around over here only, or maybe if we see some cool off, that should also be fine. But as long as we close about 100 in today's trading session, I would hold on to my view.
All right, fair enough. 7200 seems a bit exaggerated, and justifiably so. I mean, we are already 180 points higher. Can't ask for more in such a down market. Let's move on to your stock-specific strategy, Sahaj. I mean, we've seen the stock breadth in today's session. That is strongly in favor of the advances. As far as Kane India is concerned, you have a buy call there with a target of around 130 to 140 odd. Take us through that.
So even in our earlier interactions, we've mentioned that Kane is closer to its bottom, and the risk-reward ratio is very much in favor for the trader as well as for the investor. And crude, if you see, I think it's again in the process of a short-term bottom formation, and that's why you're seeing so much volatility. So we're advising buying Crane around 120, 122 levels with a stop loss of 110 and a target of 130 and 140 on the higher side.
All right, pull up comments for you today. Sahaj, you have a buy call there as well, and you have a target price of around 950 to 970. The stock is 1.8% higher in today's session, 1.7% at 900 right now. Take us through that and the rationale there as well, Sahaj.
So if you see the chart of Cummins, in spite of so much volatility that happened onto the market, Cummins didn't break its bottom of around 870. That suggests that it has a very, very strong buying support zone over there. And that's why we're suggesting that since the market is also taking a turnaround, one can look at buying Cummins with a stop loss of 780 on closing basis, and 950 and 970 as initial targets on the upside.
All right, pull up an L&T as well. And I mean, in today's session, you cannot ignore a counter like L&T. It's one of the heavy weightage counters and is contributive on the higher side by a significant quantum as far as the benchmarks go. It's up 8.2%, and that stock also has been severely beaten down, 8.2% higher in today's session. Sahaj, what is your call there as far as L&T goes?
So L&T was one of the stocks actually which dragged the index down south towards 6850. If you see, it has been in a significant underperformer since the beginning of this calendar year. January it underperformed, February also till now it was underperforming. And now since we're calling a bottom for Nifty at around 68.50 and the market has bounced back, we believe L&T is actually going to, get its act together and get in line with the market movement. So 1200, 1250 should not be surprising on L&T. On the downside, the strong level that we're looking at is 1070.
Fair enough. Ashok Leyland as well, Sahaj, it's at 88 right now. Pull up the stock for you. And I understand you have a target of around 90 on that counter. Yeah, 90 to 95. 88 is where the stock is and is seeing some reasonable traction in today's session, up 5.7% for Ashok Leyland. Sahaj, take us through this as well.
So Ashok Leyland again has been quite resilient on the downside. It has been trading in the range of 80 and 100 since quite some time. And lower levels have witnessed a lot of buying happening onto the stock. So we believe 82 is a very, very strong support. The stock has rallied a bit. So we would advise buying on dips with a stop loss of 82 and a target of around 90, 95 in the next few weeks.
All right, Sahaj, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining in today with your stock-specific strategies as well as your index view. And it happens to be an important day today, given the kind of strong up move that we are seeing. So some buoyancy in sentiment that is at least seen in the near term. Well, coming up, BPCL has posted a strong set of third quarter numbers. We speak to P. Balasubramanian, the Director of Finance at BPCL, on the other side. Stay tuned.
Presented by BSC. Experience the new.
Different things in life bring different benefits for you. If you remember to wish your wife on her birthday, you ensure peace of mind. Helping your boss with his presentation can help your growth. And by investing in an equity-linked savings scheme or ELSS mutual fund, you can get both. It lets you save tax under Section 80C and also gives growth potential to your investment. So jab we invest, think mutual funds. To know more, contact your financial advisor or visit the investor education section on www.reliancemutual.com.
Reliance.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
बस ना हम छुट्टी पे जा रहे हैं नंबू के पास.
The number you're trying to reach is currently unavailable for the next 2 weeks.
कामयाबी को कमाए भी और उस कामयाबी को मनाए भी. रुपए कामयाबी मनाओ हक से.
Stocks that have really fallen has had a losing Lots of markets are looking inflation is the most crucial reality and expectation. Stories making headlines, moving markets. Catch the midday wrap of all the things that you need to know. Get a sense of things to come with newsmakers and experts, analysis and insights. Stay ahead with me, Minnie Menon, for a holistic take on all that matters.
Right, welcome back. You're watching Market Pulse. Now, Dilip Sanghvi, the founder and MD of Sun Pharma, is speaking at the sidelines of the Make in India conference. Let's listen in.
The fact that you are looking for R&D consideration from the government. So, what is it that we can actually talk about?
I think we would like government to help Indian industry become competitive and successful in global exports.
And considering the fact that global exports now, government is actually trying to put in legalities in terms of make over there rather than make over here. So any sort of impact do you think it will have on the coming years?
No, we do not expect. No.
You do not. And for R&D, do we expect some sort of concession in the R&D sector at the moment?
Both R&D as well as in exports, I think we expect some additional steps which will help Indian industry.
What additional steps are we talking about, sir? If you could please tell us.
No, at least long-term reward for R&D. Globally.
So what is Sun Pharma's expansion plans now that you're really doing extremely well in the US market? Most of your revenues come from there.
No, we continue to invest anywhere between $250-300 million a year in terms of expansion.
In terms of expansion, so any sort of acquisitions in the pipeline that you would like to talk about?
Nothing. How are you?
Thank you.
Good.
All right, that was the founder and MD of Sun Pharmaceuticals, highlighting the fact that obviously there are on R&D as well as export benefits that are needed for exporters as far as the pharma industry is also concerned, as also highlighting the capex plan broadly to stick to that around $250 to $300 million on an annual basis. Speaking on the sidelines of the Make in India conference was Dilip Shanghvi there, MD of Sun Pharma. Moving on now, PSU refiner BPCL has posted a strong set of third quarter numbers with the profit rising to almost 1,500 crores and a total income of a little short of 47,000 crores, which is higher on a year-on-year basis. P. Balasubramanian, Director of Finance at BPCL, joins us to discuss the quarter gone by. Sir, thank you for joining us on the show. Let's straight away start off with the GRM numbers that have been pretty robust for the third quarter. Do you see it as sustainable going ahead? Or do you expect some cyclicality to kick in? Also, what has the inventory loss component being if you adjust for that? I understand it's close to around 800 crores.
As regards the GRMs are concerned, the GRMs in the last quarter has been exceptionally good. You have seen that the crack spreads have come down in the current quarter, especially in the current last fortnight onwards. So January has been good. February first fortnight is fairly okay. But currently the cracks are slightly lesser compared to the earlier period. So we cannot expect such outstanding performance in the case of refining margins. But we still hope the refining margins, subject to the volatility, will be $4 to $6 in this Q4.
All right. What about product delta, sir? How have they panned out? I mean, what has been the most contributive in terms of traction product-wise, gasoline, diesel, so on and so forth?
Both petrol and MS and HSD are giving fairly good margins. As regards refining margin, today the spreads for petrol is very good, MS is very good. Diesel has cracked a bit and it's gone to below 10 now. It's hovering around somewhere around $8 as against a normal average of almost around $12 to $14. Petrol is hovering around $10 to $12. Normally it's around 14, so petrol is fairly okay, but diesel cracks are low yet.
All right, let's talk about marketing margins then, sir. As far as petrol and diesel both are concerned, I mean, the government has also accommodated a big share in the interim as far as excise goes. How has the performance at the pump level been thereof, and how do you see marketing margins sustain going ahead in the next few quarters?
Now, as regards marketing margins is concerned, it's more or less at the last 2-3 quarters level. There is not much of a change. What has happened is in the case of the excise duty, there has been some revisions. But since diesel and petrol both are decontrolled, we are getting the full marketing margins. But it's at almost the same levels as last year.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Balasubramanian. As far as the key highlights of the earnings performance has been concerned, robust quarter for BPCL. Stock is up 3%, as are also industry peers like IOC as well as an HPCL. Coming up, Rota has clocked a muted third quarter. KK Singh, Chairman and MD, will speak with us on the other side.
इसी तरह बच्चों के साथ साथ बढ़ते हैं LIC के चिल्ड्रंस प्लान्स, जो दे आकर्षक भुगतान बच्चों की हर बढ़ती अवस्था में।
बढ़ो 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 मेरे संग। आम की मिठास अब और भी खास। सिप इंडिया सिप मैंगो सिप। PNB Housing, with easy online access, doorstep delivery. The door to your dream home opens easy with us. PNB Housing Finance.
Different things in life bring different benefits for you. If you remember to wish your wife on her birthday, you ensure peace of mind. Helping your boss with his presentation can help your growth. And by investing in an equity-linked savings scheme or ELSS mutual fund, you can get both. It lets you save tax under Section 80C and also gives growth potential to your investment. So jab we invest, think mutual funds. To know more, contact your financial advisor or visit the investor education section on www.reliancemutual.com.
Reliance.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
Welcome back. You're watching Market Pulse, and Rota India has posted a third set of third quarter numbers. It's a muted set of numbers. The quarter has been a little flattish this time. To discuss the quarter gone by, I'm being joined by KK Singh. He's chairman and MD at Rota. Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on this show. First of all, take us through the key highlights of your numbers. As far as the headline numbers go, the margin has not taken a big up move. It's almost flattish, 32.7 to 32.6% in the previous quarter. Even in absolute terms, a 320 odd crore EBITDA that has come in. What are the key factors behind this?
Well, the markets have been little subdued, so it is there. But overall, we are quite reasonably satisfied. The profitability has gone up almost 10% plus. If you see on 9 months basis, we have done almost about 9% growth on our top line, and our guidance for the whole year is between 10 to 12%. So we believe that we'll be able to meet the guidance. And I think this quarter on quarter little bit volatility is always there.
Sir, talk to us about the geospatial and engineering solutions profitability. That has seen a dip, and a dip of around 20 odd crores. What are the factors behind it? If you can take us through how the quarter has been for that segment specifically.
I mean, that sector, it depends on the orders and what we execute in particular quarters. So this quarter we have executed lesser orders which have in that segment, and therefore the financial numbers from that angle are less there. The margins still are reasonably good in that segment. We did about 134 crores of revenue versus last quarter where we did about 200 plus crores worth of revenue. So to that extent, numbers have been little different in this quarter, but the profitability is good there. So I think, and that depends on the order book, and that depends on how we execute it. So this kind of change quarter to quarter in various segments are quite expected in our business.
What is the order book value right now for the geospatial segment? If you can take us through that, and how much have you clocked in the last quarter as opposed to say the previous quarter sequentially?
See, the total order book position is about 2,900 plus crores, and the pipeline is also almost 20,000 plus crores. And if you see the EGS and the geospatial and the engineering, they constitute a good size of that. And in the pipeline, of course, very large size is because of them, because the large defense orders which we are looking at are quite having heavy portion of GIS into them. So we are quite bullish on that segment as we go forward.
What is the order backlog as far as the geospatial segment is concerned right now?
It's about, order backlog is about 500 crores on that.
504 crores.
500 crores on backlog.
500 crores of backlog. You said the total order book is right now 2,900 crores. Is that right?
Yes, please.
Of
yes.
that, in this segment, in the geospatial segment, of the 2,900, how much is the geospatial?
Will be about 500 crores.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about the system integration and enterprise IT solutions. That has seen some bit of buoyancy. 187 crores of profitability versus 172 crores. Take us through the details there as well, sir.
Well, that is one which has done better this quarter, and of course we believe that that is improving and that is fine. I think as we go forward, that will also do more better. So it is something which we are quite happy about. It has done almost 767 crore worth of revenue in this quarter versus 763 last quarter. So it is improving.
What is the client position in this segment? Have you seen any major clients being added as far as SI and IT solutions enterprise are concerned? In the quarter?
Yes, we have seen a lot of good clients added, especially in big data analytics. The good clients have been added in Middle East as well as in the US as well as in Europe. So big data analytics is doing quite good. The smart city kind of solutions in rest of the world are doing quite good. So both those segments are giving us better business.
All right, fair enough, sir. For dearth of time, we'll leave it at that, but appreciate you joining us on this show with the detailed highlights of how the quarter has gone by. The stock is up 4% on back of a muted performance, some strain coming in from the geospatial as well as the engineering solutions segment, while SI and enterprise engineering, enterprise, entertainment and IT solutions has seems to compensate a little for it. The stock cooling off as the management interacts with us a little from the day's high, still holding out 3.9% of gains. Well, with that, it's a wrap on Market Pulse for today. Lunch Money takes the action forward and we leave the Nifty above 7150 on a strong short covering bounce. Let's see if it sustains or not in the second half. Keep watching.
PNB Housing, with easy online access, doorstep delivery. The door to your dream home opens easier with us. PNB Housing Finance.
देश को बनाना है, अपने हाथों से सजाना है। भारत माँ को दुनिया भर में सबसे आगे कर दिखाना है। हर दिशा में, हर कदम पर अपना दम दिखाना है। भारत में बनाना है, अब बाहर कहीं नहीं जाना है। अब सही कर चुकाना है और देश को बढ़ाना है।
जी हाँ, आप भी आइए, अब देश को बनाइए और देश को बढ़ाइए। सेंट्रल बोर्ड ऑफ एक्साइज एंड कस्टम्स।
Experience speed on the world's fastest exchange. BSE. Experience the new.
Watching Bloomberg TV India. I'm Mitali Patel and these are the top stories we're tracking at the hour. It's a magical Monday on the last street. The Nifty gains over 2% to zoom past the 7150 mark. Bank of Baroda leads the gains on the Nifty. WPI diverges from CPI ahead of the budget. Disinflation rises as WPI comes in at a negative 0.9% for January. This as retail inflation remains at a 17-month high. Bank of Baroda stock rallies after posting a record 3,340 crore loss. The street takes heart from